Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the beautiful game, but not the way you're used to seeing it. We all know the superstars, the mega clubs, and the billion-dollar transfers. But what about the stories that don't make the headlines? The forgotten pioneers, the political clashes, and the unbelievable twists of fate that shaped European football into the global phenomenon it is today. This is the untold story of European football. Let's start our journey not in a modern superstadium, but in the gritty, industrial heartlands of 19th century Britain. This is where football as we know it was born, not by aristocrats, but by factory workers, miners, and railwaymen. They needed a release from the brutal realities of their lives. For them, football wasn't a career, it was a community, a battle, a source of local pride. The first clubs weren't commercial entities. They were formed by churches, workplaces, and local pubs. Imagine this: after a 12-hour shift, covered in coal dust, you'd run out onto a muddy field to play for your local team. The rivalries weren't about TV rights, they were about neighborhood bragging rights, and they were fierce. These early games were chaotic, often violent, with rules that changed from town to town. But as the railway network expanded, so did football. Teams started traveling to play each other, and the need for standardized rules became obvious. This led to the formation of the Football Association in 1863, a pivotal moment that separated soccer from rugby. But the biggest revolution was yet to come: professionalism. When clubs started paying players, it caused a massive uproar. The upper-class amateurs who ran the sport were horrified. They saw it as a corruption of the game's pure spirit. But for the working-class players, it was a lifeline, a chance to escape poverty. This clash between amateurism and professionalism defined the early decades of football and set the stage for the professional sport we know today. As the 20th century dawned, football fever spread like wildfire across the English Channel. In places like Italy, Spain, and Central Europe, the game took on a whole new identity. It wasn't just a sport, it became deeply intertwined with politics, nationalism, and regional identity. Take the story of Matthias Sindelar, the paperman, a footballing genius from Austria in the 1930s. He was the captain of the legendary Austrian Wonder Team. But when Nazi Germany annexed Austria in 1938, the team was disbanded. Sindelar was pressured to play for the unified German team, but famously refused. In a final unification match between Austria and Germany, he scored a goal and celebrated defiantly in front of Nazi officials. A few months later, he was found dead in his apartment under mysterious circumstances. Was it an accident, or was it the ultimate price for his defiance? His story is a powerful reminder of how football became a battleground for ideologies. Let's move to Spain, where the rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona is more than just a football match, it's a political statement. During the Franco dictatorship, Real Madrid was often seen as the team of the establishment, the centralist regime. Barcelona, on the other hand, became a symbol of Catalan identity and resistance. The stadium, Camp Nou, was one of the few places where people could openly speak the Catalan language and express their culture without fear of reprisal. Every El Clásico match carries the weight of this history. It's a clash of cultures, politics, and a century of struggle, played out on a football pitch. This isn't just about winning a game, it's about affirming an identity. The post-war era brought a new dimension to European football, the dream of continental glory. The European Cup, now the Champions League, was the brainchild of a French sports journalist. The idea was simple: find out which club was truly the best in Europe. The early years were dominated by the legendary Real Madrid side of the 1950s, with stars like Alfredo Di Stefano and Ferenc Puskás. Puskás himself has an incredible story. He was the star of the magical Magyars, the great Hungarian national team of the early 50s. But after the Hungarian Revolution of 1956 was crushed by the Soviets, he defected and found a new home in Madrid, becoming a club legend. His journey mirrors the Cold War divide that split the continent, a story of talent escaping oppression to find freedom and success. But the European Cup wasn't just for the giants, it gave smaller clubs a chance to dream. Think of Celtic-esque Lisbon Lions in 1967, a team of players all born within a 30-mile radius of Glasgow. They stunned Europe by beating the highly favored Inter Milan to become the first British team to win the European Cup, or Nottingham Forest under the eccentric genius Brian Clough, who went from a second division side to winning the English League, and then back-to-back European Cups in 1979 and 1980. These were fairy-tale stories, proving that with teamwork, belief, and a touch of magic, David could still beat Goliath. These triumphs weren't built on billion-dollar budgets, but on spirit, grit, and a deep connection to their local community. Then came the money. The 1990s changed everything. The launch of the Premier League in England and the Bosman ruling in 1995, which allowed out-of-contract players to move freely between clubs, blew the transfer market wide open. Television money flooded the game, turning football clubs into global brands and players into celebrities. This era created the superstars we know today, but it also widened the gap between the rich and the poor clubs. The Champions League, rebranded in 1992, became a closed shop for the financial elite, making those fairytale victories of the past seem almost impossible to repeat. We entered the age of the Galacticos, where clubs assembled all-star teams, not just to win trophies, but to sell shirts and expand their global brand. Has something been lost along the way? Some argue the soul of football has been sold to the highest bidder. Ticket prices have skyrocketed, pushing out the traditional working-class fan base that built the sport. Local identity has sometimes been replaced by global marketing strategies. The very essence of the game, born in the mud and passion of industrial Britain, seems a world away from the pristine pitches and corporate boxes of today. However, the passion of the fans remains. It's in the roar of the yellow wall at Borussia Dortmund, the unwavering loyalty of fans to their lower league clubs, and the explosion of joy when a local hero scores a last-minute winner. The untold story of European football isn't just about trophies and famous players. It's a story of social change, political struggle, and human resilience. It's about how a simple game played by factory workers became a mirror reflecting the continent's history, its conflicts, its dreams, and its diverse cultures. From the defiant stance of Matthias Sindelar to the community spirit of the Lisbon Lions, these are the tales that give football its depth, its meaning, and its soul. They remind us that behind every badge and every jersey, there are incredible human stories waiting to be told. The game continues to evolve, but its heart, the passion of the millions who love it, beats as strong as ever. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite untold football story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next one.